This seems like a good one. I can do this. Okay. We're back with another video. We're doing another video today. I'm just going to keep doing these as long as I feel like I'm capable of doing them. I'm doing with a different camera this time. Microphone set up perfectly. I got a bit more lighting, so we're doing the proper setup now. This is what they should look like from here on. Also, with the different camera, it's just weird. I'm used to having like a screen there while I'm like talking to the camera, but there's not one now. So I just have to like trust that everything on screen looks good. So today I wanted to diverge a little bit. So far we've only talked about sporting events, which, you know, I don't want to start like running a team here after just like a few of these. Originally I thought, okay, I need to stop like looking up lists, because if I look up lists, I'm getting a lot of the same stuff that I don't really like. So instead, I started just digging into my own like memories of different articles I've read in the past, but have mostly forgotten. I was looking for one. I forget which one. This was the joy of it. You know, I didn't know what I was actually looking for, but I knew there was something there. I just know vaguely of some World War II soldier who used like bagpipes and a bow and arrow, like storming the beaches of Normandy or something. There was something along those lines, and that's what I was looking for. Just so I could like rehash my knowledge in that and see if we could do a video on it. But in in my search for that, and that was like a minute or two of searching, I have found Wojtek the Bear, which I read like I just got a glance of someone talking about it on Reddit saying that this was a soldier bear in Poland. I was thinking, if we're going to go through the biography of a World War II soldier and I had to pick between a person and a bear, I think I'm picking the bear, mostly because I think he's a corporal, which is insane in World War II because most soldiers would have died without reaching that rank, which is, you know, a bear did better than you. Wojtek was a Syrian brown bear adopted during World War II by soldiers of the 2nd Polish Corps, which Wojtek accompanied to Italy, serving in the 2nd Artillery Supply Company. In 1944, during the Battle of Monte Cassino, Wojtek imitated his human comrades, carrying ammunition crates. He was promoted from private to corporal. What about all the other guys who did that? I'm just wait. He was promoted from private to corporal and became a celebrity with visited Allied generals and statesmen. After the war, he was mustered out of the Polish army and lived out the rest of his life in Scotland at the Edinburgh Zoo. Wait, okay, so did he just... Okay, so this bear just showed up, carried a few crates of ammunition, and was, like, promoted to corporal. Okay, yeah, one second. What do they mean they just found the bear? Like, yeah, people tend to find bears, but they don't end up becoming friends with them right afterwards. Adopted during war. I assume maybe it was like a bear cub or something. Okay, what's this? History. Adoption. Whoa. Good job. In the spring of 1942, the newly found Anders army left the Soviet army for Iran, accompanied by thousands of Polish civilians who had been deported to the Soviet Union following the 1939 Soviet invasion of eastern Poland. On the journey from Pahlavi to Tehran, on 8th of April 1942, Polish soldiers encountered a young Iranian boy who had found a bear cub whose mother had been shot by hunters. What happened to the boy? Wait. One of the civilian refugees in their midst, 18-year-old Irina Bakovich, the great niece of General Boleslav Wieniawa-Dżukoczowski. I hope I pronounced that right. I will say I should not be attempting any of these names in Polish, but I'm going to anyway. And the general was very taken with the cub. I mean, like, it's strange that they just found a boy with the cub, and he, you know, the boy did all the hard work of getting the cub to be his friends, and these soldiers just came along and they were like, oh, that's pretty sick, hand that over. Or at least I'm assuming that's what happened. She prompted Lieutenant Anatol to buy the young bear cub, which spent the next 3 months in a Polish refugee camp established near Tehran, principally under Irina's care. In August, the bear was donated to the 2nd Transport Company, which later became the 22nd Artillery Supply Company, and he was named Wojtek by the soldiers. I wonder why they named him Wojtek. I used to have a co-worker in McDonald's called Wojtek, so that's why I know how to pronounce that name. So that's the process of how he got him in, which is, you know, interesting. So, nutrition and growing, which I'm not going to lie, does seem like it's going to be the most interesting part of this. Wojtek initially had problems swallowing and was fed condensed milk from an old vodka bottle. He was subsequently given fruit, marmalade, honey, and syrup, and was often rewarded with beer, which became his favorite drink. So he was doing pretty good. They took pretty good care of him from the seams of it anyway. Wait, is someone's someone's wrestling the bear. Why are they wrestling the bear? Oh wait, did they make him like the logo of the company? Oh, that's adorable. Oh, there's a little picture here as well of a bit like it's a logo of like a bear carrying an artillery shell. That's really cute. Okay, so okay. I was really worried that this would turn into, oh yeah, they took the bear and then, you know, completely like neglected it. So I'm really happy. Oop. I just hit the table really hard. I'm really happy that Wojtek seemed to be enjoying himself. Let's see, beer became his favorite drink. He later also enjoyed smoke. Wojtek really is that one, like, quiet kid who was just adopted by, like, a frat party in college. Had a completely normal life up to this point. And now there's just these guys coming up to him being like, hey, Wojtek, down this beer. He later also enjoyed smoking or eating cigarettes. We have a lot in common, my boy. As well as drinking coffee in the mornings. Oh yeah, okay, so yeah, me and Wojtek are the exact same. He also slept with the other soldiers if they were ever cold at night. These guys got to sleep with a bear. I want to sleep with a bear. Well, I want to sleep with Wojtek. You know, most bears, maybe not. I'm kind of terrified of bears. I'm terrified of most animals because most animals could kill me. Mostly because I'm terrified of them. He enjoyed wrestling with the soldiers and was taught to salute when greeted. He became an attraction for soldiers and civilians alike, and soon became an unofficial mascot to all units stationed nearby. With the 22nd Company, he moved to Iraq and then through Syria, Palestine, and Egypt. This bear had a life. This bear had a life. I was so worried for him at the start. This bear, I want to know more. Is there... Wait, I'm gonna, like, skip ahead to the references to see if there's any, like, books or anything on them. Animated short film. Okay, we'll get to that later. I just kind of, like, glanced over it. Wojtek copied the Yoda soldiers, drinking beer, smoking, and even marching alongside them on his hind legs because he saw them do so. Aww. Oh, that's adorable. Hey, this is becoming a lot more wholesome than I thought. When I saw Soldier Bear, I was assuming, like, you know, battle armor with spikes on it, and he'd be like charging in with like the general on his back, like fucking Total Warhammer 3 with the Kislev army. Though this is Poland, so it makes sense that I'd be thinking of Kislev. Wojtek, actually, yeah, that's like one of the most Polish things you could possibly do, have a fucking bear in your army. Wojtek had his own caregiver assigned to look after him. The cub grew up while on campaign, and by the time of the Battle of the Monte Cassino, he weighed 90 kg, which I'm assuming is a lot for a bear. I don't know what a lot is. I don't know what a lot for a person is either, so I'm not pretending like I have any knowledge on this at all. Oh, Soldier Wojtek is the next bit. Okay. We were in the nutrition and growing section, so maybe that's why it was a lot more wholesome than the rest of this, but let's find out what we got here. From Egypt, the Polish Second Corps was reassigned to fight alongside the British 8th Army, famous from North African battles such as El Alamein and from the Italian campaign. What was the Italian campaign? I assume it's something got to do with Italy anyway. Also called the Liberation of Italy. Yeah, I think I can assume what happened there. Regulations for the British transport ship that was to carry them from Italy forbade mascot and pet... I completely forgot that this involved a bear at all. I forgot that this might be problematic and that people... Like, it's not like Scooby-Doo where there's just like a dog that no one questions at all. Yeah, there's a bear going around with you that's going to get some attention. To get around this restriction, Wojtek was officially drafted into the Polish army as a private. Let's go. And listed among the soldiers of the 22nd Artillery Supply Company. Henryk Zakharevich and Lev Wazowski were assigned as his caretakers. Citation needed. Is someone just taking credit for that without, like, actually, like, saying? As an enlisted soldier with his own paybook, rank, and serial number, he lived with the other men in tents or in special wooden crate. I hope it was a big wooden crate. Oh, wait. Oh, okay. There was just, like, a standard, like, ammunition crate on the left. I thought they were just gonna say, yes, that was his crate that he slept in. Wojtek helped his unit convey ammunition by carrying 100-pound crates of 25-pound artillery shells, never dropping any of them. What a guy. What a guy. No wonder he earned the rank of corporal. Like, he must have had some idea of what he was doing. That's really cool. Like, obviously, like, you know, we shouldn't be putting animals as, like, we shouldn't be enslaving animals or anything. Like, he was happy to do this, and I'm very glad for him, and he got a lot out of it, to be fair. He got to be a corporal for carrying a few boxes. Like, come on. He was enjoying himself. But that's insane. Also, like, again, I hate to, like, harp on about this, but the absolute absurdity of, like, imagine you're one of the other guys who's loading ammunition shells, and there's just this bear walking back and forth, like, and you just have to keep going because you're at war. You can't stop to question it. No, I suppose most of these guys would have been working with Wojtek for like so long at this point anyway. Like, there just had to be someone who just saw this from like a distance away and was like, what the? Is that a bear? Imagine the enemies. What were the enemies thinking? Okay, what else we got here? While this story generated debate over its accuracy, don't you dare, don't you dare. At least one account exists of British soldiers recalling seeing the bear carrying crates of ammunition. So yeah, you know the British soldiers weren't just going to like give them that credit, because as soon as they say that, they knew like the Polish would never drop it. The bear mimicked the soldiers. When he saw the men lifting crates, he copied them. Wojtek carried boxes that normally required 4 men, which he would stack onto a truck or other ammunition ammunition boxes. After the Polish victory, Wojtek became a celebrity among visiting Allied generals and statesmen. This service also earned him a promotion to the rank of corporal. In recognition of Wojtek's popularity, a depiction of a bear carrying an artillery shell was adopted as the official emblem of the 22nd Company. That's awesome. His rise to fame. This is such like a heartfelt story. Started off as like an orphaned cub, or I assume orphaned anyway. He didn't have his mother at least. There was a boy there at some point. We still don't know what happened to that boy. Gets drafted into the army. Through hard work, he perseveres. He's not even one of like the big guys up on top. He's just carrying ammunition cells. This guy, how is there not a propaganda campaign about this? Get this man a propaganda campaign. Post-war, after the Second World War in 1945, Wojtek was transported to Berwickshire, Scotland with the rest of the 22nd Company. They were stationed at Winfield Airfield. Stupid English names. On Sonwick Farm near the village of Hutton, Scottish borders. Wojtek soon became popular among local civilians and the press, and the Polish-Scottish Association made him an honorary member. Everyone loves the bear. I'm surprised this happened and no one was like straight away is like, let's domesticate bears. Oh, I assume we can't domesticate bears. They don't seem very sociable. Following demobilization on 15th of November 1947, Wojtek was given to the Edinburgh Zoo, where he spent the rest of his life, often visited by journalists and former Polish soldiers, some of whom tossed cigarettes for him to eat, as he did during his time in the army. He retired! And retired happily as well. It's not even a case of they just locked him up in a zoo and he was like, oh, I miss my days back on the battlefield. He still happily responded to being spoken to in Polish, recognizing many of his former unit. Media attention contributed to Wojtek's popularity. He was a frequent guest on BBC Television's Blue Peter program for children. Wojtek passed away on December 2nd, 1963, aged 21, weighing nearly 500 kg and over 1.8 meters tall. Every part of this is probably the nicest way it could have gone, apart from, like, I suppose him being orphaned. But, like, you know, rough start, but everything after that, this guy got the full experience. Okay, legacy. So what It's insane that there's a bear with a section called Legacy. A bear soldier in World War II with a section called Legacy. That is probably longer than most people's legacy. The many memorials to the soldier bear included a plaque within the collection of the Imperial War Museum, a sculpture by David Harding in the Sikovsky Museum in London, and a wooden sculpture in Willesby Woods, Grimsby. It's funny that there was multiple memorials, because that means obviously someone was like straight away like, okay, we need to make one. But when one already exists, and someone else was like, well, we need to make another one now. In 2013, the Krakow City Council gave permission for the erection of a statue of Wojtek in the city's Jordan Park. It was unveiled on the 18th of May 2014, the 70th anniversary of the Battle of Monte Cassino. That's really cool that they still like heavily associate Wojtek with the Battle of Monte Cassino. I'm sure other countries associate the Battle of Monte Cassino with much grimmer things, but I don't know what the Battle of Monte Cassino is off the top of my head, so all it is to me right now is about Wojtek the bear. In 2013, the City of Edinburgh Council approved the erection of a bronze statue of Wojtek by Alan Beatty Harriet to stand in the city's West Princes Street gardens. Unveiled in 2015, it presents Wojtek and a fellow Polish army soldier walking together. An accompanying relief documents Wojtek's journey from Egypt to Scotland with the Polish army. That's really lovely. There's even more the next one's another statue. In 2016, a statue of Wojtek was unveiled in Duns in the Scottish border. Wojtek had been stationed at the nearby Winfield camp in 1946 alongside Polish troops. The statue was donated by the Polish town of Zagreb, Dunn's twin town, and was unveiled on the 26th of April 2016, 72 years after the Battle of Monte Cassino, which involved Polish forces, including Wojtek, as we know. In 2017, a street in Poznan, Poland, was named after Wojtek. The street now named The street now named Corporal Wojtek Street in Polish leads to the new Poznan Zoo. Oh, that's lovely. In September 2018, a wooden statue of Wojtek was unveiled in the Poznan New Zoo, funded by Krystyna Wieczorek, the author of a Polish book about Wojtek. Oh, so there is a book about him. Okay, lovely. Oh, that's awesome. I was hoping that there'd be a book about him. Or a movie. I think there was something about him, like a short film here as well. In May 2019, a marble statue of Wojtek was unveiled in Cassino, Italy. Since the 1st of September 2019, the 80th anniversary of the outbreak of World War II, a Wojtek the Bear monument had been placed in Sopot, overlooking the street named after the Battle of Monte Cassino, in which he famously played a role. In 2024, the story of Wojtek was adapted into a play by writer Alan Pollock at Coventry's Albany Theatre, based on his children's book, The Bear Who Went to War. In 2024, the 28-minute animated short film, A Bear Named Wojtek, directed by Lane Gardner, was released and went on to be nominated for 17 awards, including the animated short film category for the Academy Awards. Oh, and they have all the statues. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, this is lovely. I love this. Right, see also history of Edinburgh Zoo, list of individual bears. Poles in the United Kingdom, Polish Armed Forces in the East, Polish Armed Forces in the West, Polish Resettlement Corps, Wojtek Memorial Trust, and Winnipeg Bear. Who's Winnipeg? Oh, I suppose there's a very similar bear. So that was absolutely wonderful. I'm so happy I decided to do this. Do people know about this? Like, there seems to be a lot of like statues and media about this bear, but I don't know. If you know this was a thing, let me know down like in the comments or how you found out about it. I don't know how people just hear about this. I'm sure if you're Polish, you would know about this because you'd be learning about Polish history anyway. And I can just imagine every so often the teacher would be like, "You want to know the coolest thing about Poland in World War II?" Or at least I hope that's what they say afterwards. I don't know what else Poland did during World War II, unless they had other animals in their army. Then I suppose that would be pretty cool. Overall, I'm very happy that I decided to do this one today. A very wholesome story in World War II. They're very far and few in between, so I'm happy this was one of them. And, you know, it feels great. That's your Wikipedia article for today. I'm going to leave this one here. If you have any more articles you want me to check out, let me know down below. But until next time, I'm going to start searching for more. See ya.